All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday morning training for, let's see, this is July 31st. Can you believe it? The seventh month is almost over, and August begins tomorrow, August 1st. So thanks for joining us. Last week we covered some important ground going over our daily action plan, you know, connecting with people heart to heart, share peaking and pointing. And today Janet and I are going to be covering the next two pieces of that important method of operation, which is follow up and enrolling. And so I'm just going to promote, let me get you spotlighted also for everyone. Didn't work. Try one more time. I guess I did something wrong.
No, it worked, Gregory. It worked.
There you go. Okay.
It worked.
I added you and it deleted me, so I added me back. So this is the fundamental, we always talk about income producing activities. And income producing activities, actually listening to this call is not an income producing activity, but there's other things you should do besides income producing activity. And Stephen Covey talks about sharpening the saw. You don't just chop, chop, chop. Every once in a while, you got to stop and sharpen the saw. And this probably falls in the category of habit number 7, sharpening the saw. And thanks, Janet, for joining me here. Did you want to say anything as kind of about last week, and then we'll kind of tee it up for this week?
Well, thank you, Gregory, and good morning, everybody. We do appreciate you coming on these calls, especially in the height of summer. Everybody's vacationing and being out and about. But I will tell you that you're really smart to be on these calls and keep prepping when when the comp plan launches. It's game over, you guys. This is the biggest opportunity I've ever seen in my life, and I get to say that because I've helped launch 7 companies. Gregory's been head of companies, and we can both tell you there's never been an opportunity like this with this kind of product. So keep your head down, keep in the game, learn these skills because your team's going to grow and you're going to need to teach them.
And one of Robert and my favorite savings we learned from one of our mentors, success is not magical, it's mathematical. And these are the 5 steps that all of us should be engaging in every day.
Yeah.
And the more you engage in them, the better you get and the faster you grow. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And I'm going to take us to Live Younger Success, where we kind of trained from last week. And I'm just going to jump in and go right to uh, getting started as 1, 2, 3. And here we are, scooting right forward to our simple daily action plan. Uh, and as we said last week, we talked about connecting heart to heart and peaking and pointing to the tools. And today we're going to talk about follow up and enroll. And I think the best place for us to kind of leverage that and go from, I think the basic foundations are right here. And if someone would just screen capture this, you know, copy it, put it on your refrigerator, put it probably on your computer next to your screen, and just do this every day. The more you do this, the faster you'll grow. And I don't know a better way to pay it. This is a monkey see, monkey do business. If you're doing this, your people will probably do it too. Okay, so lead by example. So I'm going to open up the getting started checklist, which is a little bit expanded version, but almost identical to what's in the website there. And we want to talk about the follow-up process and the enrollment process. And I'll let you kick it off, Janet, with follow-up.
Well, great. And Gregory and I had a chat this morning that following is a ongoing process. And in this 1, 2, 3 get started daily action plan, this is your first piece of follow up because there's later on what we call follow through. So it doesn't just end, you guys. So, you're starting out, you're thinking, I want to share this with everybody, right? And so we've talked about how you pique their interest, how you point to the tool, you send them a video, whatever it is. And then you've really got to follow up. Did they watch the video? If you patched them, what was their response, right? And sometimes your new brand partners are just deer in the headlights. They don't know what to say, right? And so often with the video, what they have here on point number one is perhaps ask them, what interested you most? That's a real open question, and you can find out what of the video you sent, and do you have any questions? Because you guys, people don't know what biomodulation is, right? At all. And so that's when you can start telling your story, or you can tell somebody else's story, because stories sell, you guys, more than the facts, right? And you're going to be able to start in your follow-up asking questions like, are you ready to get started? Is there anything that would keep you from getting started? Right? You're just asking them, you're in that conversation, right? Sometimes they'll come back, point three, well, they need more information, or they need to talk to their spouse, or they're not sure till their paycheck comes, right? So you're asking more questions, things like that. If you haven't offered a sample, well, if you had a sample, would that help you understand how this works? And we always say, hey, it's one sample. You need to be wearing these for 1 month, probably for every decade of your age. But hey, you'll get a sense of how you peel them off, wear them for 12 hours, things like that. But you know what? You have some really good questions. So let me get my colleague Gregory on the line with us, because he's been using these for so long. He really understands these, and I'm going to do a three-way call with him,
Mhm.
right? And so the three-way call is magical, you guys. If I can give you the triangle, sorry, Gregory, you told me to take off. So Gregory's at the top of the triangle. He's our expert. You're over here and your guest is over here. You have the relationship with the guest. We want to keep that wonderful. You're their friend, or you're their family member, right? You let Gregory do the work. You're going to edify Gregory. Oh, he's really wonderful. He knows his technology. He's been in network marketing. He's at the top. He's one of our top leaders. He's used the patches for years. Then you edify your friend. Oh, my friend Kathy's, Gregory, she's really got some questions, but she's a nurse and she really understands a lot about the body, but she's got some issues she's struggling with. Real quick. Okay, we got our triangle. You get out of the way and be quiet and let Gregory take over, because he knows how to question her. He knows how to get her story. He knows how to share his story, and he knows how to ask closing questions. This is such a critical piece. If you're not doing it with your upline, or your upline doesn't know how to do it, get a hold of us. We'll help you guys. And then it may be the person, Kathy's going to say, well, Gregory, I'm not quite ready yet. And Gregory might say, Kathy, what else do you need to know? Is there a website? We have this liveyounger.com website. It could really answer your questions. So your follow-up's another of those conversations. So Gregory, jump in here.
Yeah, and a lot of people say, "Well, I don't know what to say." So I'm gonna go back a page, and I'm going to go here, and everyone can download the Getting Started checklist. Every one of you and every one of your team, and everyone can go here and download Words That Work. So if you want words that work, God bless Judy Daniel for putting this all together. But here's some really powerful phrases you can use during your follow-up process. What interested you most? What did you like best about what you heard or saw? A key to follow-up is engagement, answering questions, interacting. And as Janet was saying, if they get to something that you can't explain, tap into your upline, because three-way calling is not only powerful, it's fun. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And so many people think, oh, I didn't want to bother you. Well, it's no bother when someone from the downline calls the upline because they got a prospect on the phone. I mean, that's one of the things we're all about. So, find out what questions. I know you only listen to a short video, but I'm curious, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your interest? And I want to give
Yeah.
our enroller, Kai Jacobson, credit for this, because Kai said, here's the qualifier. When should you get someone on a three-way call with your upline? If you ask them this question on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your interest level? If they're a 7 or above, get them on the phone with your upline. If they're a 6 or below, send them some more information to pique their interest. I mean, we have quality videos, we have replays of webinars, we got the Sunday afternoon doc talk. We have so many tools So remember the old adage, if you're talking, you should be pointing towards a tool. Well, your upline's a tool, and I know some people don't want to be called a tool, but you fit into that category. A three-way calling is a tool, and you do it with your upline. Maybe that's a better way to put it. But are you ready to get started? If they say yes, you don't need more follow up. You can move right to enroll and take the low hanging fruit. Sometimes people just, like when Kai Jacobson called us, he said stem cell patch, Robin was sold. The sale was over. And he talked and talked and talked and talked because he wanted to tell us all about the company and piqued my interest because he talked about how much money he was making. But, the sale was over and we joined because of that. So, and you could also say, what needs to happen for us to take the next step? These are just really good questions that we learned from, I, what's his name that did this training, Robin? The Words that Work?
There is a book. He is
Yeah.
an author. This came from his book. I
Yes.
can't think of his name either also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't either.
Barbara Larrabee, you're on. I think you know his name. You're always good at
Big
that.
Al.
Phil
Big Al.
Jones.
No, it
Phil
wasn't Big
Jones.
Al. Phil
Phil
Jones.
Jones.
Phil Jones. Yeah, Phil Jones. Yeah, that's it. What needs to happen? What else you need to know to make an informed decision? And again, I always like to say our job is to give people enough information to make an informed decision. And what Robin likes to say to people, she qualifies them up front. Do you like a lot of information or a little information? And some people say, pour it on. Well, we can do that because we got plenty. And some people say, well, no, I don't want a lot. I just want the core essence. And we can do that. And maybe that's a good time for a three-way call. So follow up.
Gregory, may I jump in there?
Yeah, please.
Here's one thing, or two sides. You need to ask them to get started. It's like inviting someone to the party. They're waiting for you to bring them into the party. And many people, when they start, they think the person's going to tell them, okay, I'm ready. And the person's waiting for you to say, are you ready? Please invite me to the party. You do need to ask them to join. Are you ready to get started? Things like that, right? And so then if they say yes, the flip side is that is shut up. Pull out an app, get on your website. Don't keep going. They're done. They said yes. They're
Mhm.
ready to hand you their card. So that pivotal point.
So here we go. And what happens next? Enroll, the enrollment process. So, what I know, Robin likes to ask people up front, are you going to be using patches just for yourself, or do you plan on sharing them with others? And that's a real casual way of separating your customer prospects from your brand partner prospects. And some people say, well, they gotta work for me before I share it with anybody. So, great. Well, let's get you signed up as a customer. And I know the momentum has been we sign up, everybody's a brand partner. But when the new comp plan comes into effect sometime in early September, there's going to be an incentive to wait. There's going to be not an incentive, but a reason to let someone go through the experience and belief building phase before you pull the trigger on making them a brand partner, because we have that new feature in the comp plan that runs for 9 weeks from the moment they become a brand partner. And if they're using the first 4 weeks to validate the product, they only have 5 weeks of that incentive left. Silence is a clue for you, Janet.
Occasionally I don't interrupt. So enrolling. Now, for many of us, we were mostly enrolling brand partners these last years because the comp plan rewarded us for ranking up with it. And now we're needing to enroll preferred customers, preferred plus. And I know my team's working on, a real simple ABCD, here's how you sign them up, because in all fairness, the customer sign up is a little bit tough. And if people don't understand that there's a monthly subscription and they don't click that, they default to a retail customer. So I think it's in our Live Younger Academy that we're building. That'll definitely be part how to enroll that way. But just make sure you talk to your upline and you're very clear on enrollment, through your website, and prefer right now that you do it until they've rebuilt the website for us that way. But then, okay, this calls about follow-up. So Gregory, roll up a sec, if you would please, in our script. That's yeah. Follow-up, that was after You talked to them, piqued their interest. They saw a video where you had a three-way call, right? Good. Now, we've enrolled them. If you'll scroll down again, Gregory, there's more follow-up to come. There really is. Because did they get their patches? Did they put their patches on? How many people didn't put their patches on when they got them? Are they drinking water? Are you going to instruct them how to use it? They got more questions now that you actually have the patches. And if you go away for your 6-week cruise, they don't know what to do, right?
Mhm.
So you could be emailing them, you could be calling them, you could be texting them, but there's another step of follow on. And so, as Gregory says, now we go to follow through. So, Gregory, we take off on the steps of follow through.
Yeah, and I'd like to suggest as terms, think of follow-up goes with presentation. You present the information, you point to tools, you do three-way calls, you invite them to webinars, all these things we do to get someone to say, okay, how do I get started? And then you enroll them. And the way I've learned to look at it over the years is once they enroll, you want to continue to follow through for the rest of your customer distributor relationship with them. Because remember, our goal is long term, mutually rewarding relationships. So we prospect to find candidates to join us to become customers, become brand partners. But and here's the difference between regular conventional sales and network marketing or direct sales uh, is in regular sales, if I'm selling copy machines, I'm pitching, presenting, close the sale. Thank you very much. Get my commission, move on.
Bye-bye. Yeah,
In network marketing, it's you do a lot of the same stuff, but now you're opening a relationship, whole different. So in conventional sales, you get all the cash up front and you go on to the next one. Network marketing, you get an increment, but if you look at the future value of a customer, if you look at the future value of a brand partner and annualize it, that's where our money comes from. If somebody signs up just with X39 as a customer, you're making $20 a month times 12. Let's see, I think that's $240 on a $99 sale. So it's really the follow through, being consistent in your follow through, and we'll drill into that on another call because that's a whole nother subject. The daily action plan is to get people to the point of decision where they enroll. And okay, well, they enrolled. Now what do we do? Oh, we got a whole nother training for you on that. And we're really in the process of building out the academy to do that.
true. Gregory, would you scroll down step 4 a little bit, please? Kind of that second point. If they're not ready to enroll and want more information, and to Robin's question, do you need a little information or a lot of information? Some
Mhm.
people are like, I got patched, let's sign up. Other people are, I'm going to research. Okay, now you need to actually ask them what is it that you need to know? May I
Mhm.
point you to some websites where you can get the right information because they're going to go Google it and they're going to see and or on YouTube, they're going to see everybody's video possible. And the ones that start with is LifeWave a scam, which is usually a rep trying to hook people to go watch his or her video, right? You need to give them the right information. So Gregory's got in there another video on InTouch or invite them to liveyounger.com. That's what you need. Oh, you need to research. Let me send you to our site, liveyounger.com, right? Okay. Maybe I have a number of medical people on our team. They wanted the deep dive. Great. Let's take you to copperpeptidebreakthrough.com, or even if you're hardcore, pubmed.gov and go into that way. But point them to the right place, you guys, because Google's a wide open global craziness, right? And they're
And
going to,
if you leave them to their own devices to go do their own research, they may end up enrolling with somebody else.
yeah.
Somebody as they start searching LifeWave, they might buy a Japanese version of the product from China that does nothing, and they're all disappointed because they didn't get any results because it's a phony product.
And then they say that you're a scam. Right? You're like, wait. So right here, you guys do a little education now because the word's getting out, and my team just showed me an unbelievable mock-up that's going around on the web that looks, you would think it's X39, and it's absolutely fraudulent, right? So be a professional. This is your business. Protect, as they said in my old company, protect this house.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And regarding the knockoffs, the company's well aware of it. In fact, David Schmidt got involved. He says, we know all about it. It's a Chinese product. It's smaller and there's nothing in it. Doesn't do anything. And
Right.
our compliance and legal teams are after them to shut it down. But it's kind of a nonstop. There's a nutritional product I take. It's not a network marketing company, but the last ad that came out, their whole ad, an internet ad, was warning people about don't buy it from anywhere else because besides us, because it's a phony from China. And it's proliferating, sadly. So, you want to keep control. And I know some of you probably said, "Oh, I saw it on eBay or I saw it on Walmart." It's not us. It's not Lifeway. When
Yeah.
it's $29 for a month's supply of X39 is not X39, I promise you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people, some people are going to do it no matter what. You are the value they're buying. Actually, I know we love the patches and that's how we get well, but you're the value. You know
Mhm.
them. You're going to build a guide them. You've got customer service. You're a real business and don't discount that you're the value.
And don't neglect. I'm sorry, we may have to start adding this into our routine sales process. If someone's gonna wants more research, say, oh, by the way, there's knockoffs out there made in China. They don't work. They're sold at a fraction of the price. You're going to get scammed. So just recognize that you won't find our products discounted, and they're not available from anybody else except Lifeway brand partners.
Yeah.
So let them know that you have the exclusive relationship with the manufacturer in this other stuff. If they buy it discounted online, they're not getting the real thing.
Yeah, that way. And then, the unfortunate part is we've had people go, oh, they don't work. Well, yeah, because you didn't buy real product, right?
Yeah.
That way. So you belabored that, but educate your brand partners, educate your customers, you guys, because it's really firing up hard now.
Okay. So do we want to open it up for a Q&A now, uh,
Sure.
Janet? So I think if anyone, I'm going to go ahead and stop the share so we can go back to Hollywood Square and see everybody. And I
And
hope
we
this was,
invite some of you've got some follow-up stories. Beamy, you probably do for sure. Go ahead and put your hand up. If you go down to the react button, if you're on the computer, it's got a little heart. You can raise your hand and Gregory can see you. If you're on your iPhone, search. If you're on an iPad, I'm clueless.
okay, there's a couple of hands up. Looks like I've got my hand up. Oh no, that's Robin. Go ahead, Robin.
Okay, well, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you guys always hear me talk about this. It's a relationship business. And every time we're following up, and we were just visiting with our dear friends in Florida. And I remember when Angela Steemack was up on stage doing a program on follow up, and she said, every time we follow up, we're connecting heart to heart with people. We're developing a cord between our hearts. And the more we do that, the stronger that cord is, and then it becomes unbreakable. So
Hmm.
staying connected is building the relationship. And it's the relationship that makes the biggest difference in this business. I was on a call this morning with someone who said, I'm in an area where there's a lot of top leaders from other teams. They're very aggressive. My team is feeling blah, blah, blah. And I reminded him it's the relationship that's most important. Yes, people can be aggressive and they can maybe pick up some people, but really, if we take the time to develop the relationship, we have them for the long term. It's not a flash in the pan. So, thank you guys so much for what you shared this morning. And, Gregory's the one who taught me about our job is to give people enough of the right information for them to make an informed decision. So we need to find out. And it's really out of respect that we ask people, because if we give too much, they're overwhelmed. If we don't give enough, they're not satisfied. Back to you
Mhm.
guys.
And Beamy, I saw you put your hand up. Was that your hand going up to speak
Yeah,
or?
something's weird with my Zoom. I can't get to
Okay,
the bottom
yeah,
thing.
go ahead.
Um, yeah, I just want to chime in on the relationship part of following up and taking care of the person, because so many times, they talk to somebody, or like you said, they get wrong information, but especially in those first times that you're, exposing them, peaking them, and then they, are getting their order done. And then
Yeah.
I send something out to them. It's not like we're waiting in between from when they decided to get
On
the
your floor?
to um to when they get it, so that there's still interaction. And I call that following up until I can get them in the momentum on the patches. So I think that's an important little in between piece.
Hmm. Good. Thank you, Beamy. Michelle, you're next. Go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you, Gregory. I literally have 3 minutes. I'm walking into an appointment, so I will be quick, and I hope we can get a quick answer because my
Okay.
question is going to help a lot of people.
Oh, good.
I am having trouble with the follow-up part and getting people to respond. Now, when I can, I set up the next meeting because I learned that from my wonderful mentor, Gregory. Never end one interaction without scheduling another, which is wonderful. However, a lot of people I'm finding are a little testy. They're a little resistant when I say, when can we talk again in the next couple of days? Oh, I don't know. I'm really busy. I'll get back to you. Well, I don't want to be pushy. So I might say, well, can you give, then it's like, can you give me a time in the next couple of days? It feels like you're chasing. It feels like you're pushing. And I literally have one new customer, one new brand partner. I have not talked to them once since they started. They just disappeared. And I call, I text, I even send a voice note and say, hey, I really care about you getting off on the right foot. And days go by. And then I hear from this one guy and he says, I'll be available in the second week of August. I mean, you guys, this is reality. I'm sorry to sound so intense, but I'm kind of stressed about it and I have to go to my appointment. But I get stressed when I'm trying my damnedest to get a hold of people and they just like, I'm busy. And they don't even return my messages. So please help.
Okay.
Please
You're
help.
not the only one, I'm sure. And Robin, I just get the prompting to ask you to respond to
Well,
Michelle.
I was going to respond to that one. When people don't watch the videos or don't look at what you send or don't respond to your follow-ups, from my perspective, it's that we haven't taken the time early on to find out what's important to them. What are they trying to accomplish? What do they want more of? Because that way we get to feed it back to them and say, you mentioned that you really want to get back to the golf course and that your back is really bothering you. And we have something I believe can really make a difference. So
But Robin, I think she's referring to new customers and brand partners that already made the decision. Maybe you missed that.
Yeah.
oh, I
Yeah.
did miss that.
Yeah,
Okay.
you did miss
Well,
that.
it's actually the same thing.
Yeah.
Because, taking the time up front with a new customer or a brand partner that has told you, our job when they're new is to make sure we help them get what they wanted. And a lot of times people jump in really fast when there's a new customer or brand partner and don't take that time to get to know them.
Let me jump in.
Because
And
I did, Robin. I actually did ask those questions.
yeah,
And so then I'll put that in the message. I know you want such and such. I know you want this experience. And I just want to help you get it. Go ahead, Gregory.
Robin, one of Robin's things that works really well. Are you okay? I've been trying to reach you and just let me know if you're okay, because that's showing that you care. You're not trying to share, you're showing that you care. And it's amazing how, the third or fourth time you email or text message somebody, they don't respond. And the third or fourth time that you finally say, just checking in to make sure you're okay, because I've sent you a couple of messages, just want to make sure. And more times than not, they'll respond to that. And that just reestablishes that connection. And so that's one suggestion. Anybody else have anything they'd like to share for Michelle?
Yes, sure.
Go ahead.
Michelle, are you a student of the Gospel of the Man Upstairs?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed,
Okay.
Lavelle.
So the parable of the sower says some are going to do 30%, some are going to do 60%, some are going to do 100%, but some are going to fall on the rocks. Some are going to fall. You got to go back to
Yeah.
work with the willing. It's all about working with the willing. And you have to understand that we want to love our people wherever they are. Because wherever they are, that's where they are. But sometimes what happens is, I remember in the former company, even in this company, what happens is it's their timing, it's not our timing. And sometimes they'll all of a sudden, 6 months later, a year later, say, "Oh, now I'm ready." It's all about timing is everything.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. I got to run.
And
I'll listen
Michelle, let's talk later. I got some other ideas for you.
Okay, thank you.
And I do
Thank you,
too.
everyone.
I do
And
too,
then-
Gregory. I'll share it with you
I
and you
do
can
want
share
to
with her.
jump in on what Gregory said because I do that often. If we don't hear back from people and we don't want to be a pest, Gregory calls it professional persistence, but we do want to make sure they're okay, saying, I'm really concerned. I haven't heard back from you. Please let me know you're okay. And it works like 90% of the time. It's amazing. So I invite you to use it. Yeah.
So now I
Hey,
wanted to share
go
also,
ahead.
Gregory.
Yeah.
Guys, you can really tell where your business is by three-way calling. The fortune and the friendship is in the follow-up, but
Mhm.
three-way calling is how you build your business. When you're following up, don't be a lone ranger. And that's where we all get a little off track. I like to say OT or OT. You're either on track or you're off track with your business. But three-way calling is so powerful in the follow-up because a prophet isn't honored in its own hometown, guys. Just go back to the basics. That's where we built our businesses, tens of thousands of people.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me share, Gregory.
Yeah, thanks, Lavelle. Hi, Norma.
Hey, so I raised my hand because I had the same issue with a guy that I had helped in another company, and he was kind of hit and miss, doing his own thing and not real teachable, but I loved him and we had met together. He's from LA, I'm from San Francisco. The same thing happened, but I've been trying to call him, reach him, text him, sending him little things. 3 months he's been on the patches and absolutely no conversation. And I was feeling like a rotten upline.
Uh-huh.
But I just kept praying for him, kept pouring love, little messages, voice texts, like, I care about you, I love you, how are you doing? Finally, it's like yesterday, I just sensed Holy Spirit saying, call him now. I
Mhm.
did, even though I was in the middle of something else. And it's like he actually picked up, because other times he's picked up, he'll say, I'm at the doctor's, I'll call you right back, and never does. So it was like a hit. We were on the phone for over an hour, and I
Oh,
was
my.
able to really pour into him, educate him, and I'll be connecting him with upline soon because he really wants certain things for his son, not so much for himself, but for his son and his wife. I mean, it's like we have, I think, kind of like the zinc explosion upon conception, of that joy and love and connection via God, really. It's the God factor. It's the Holy Spirit. It's the oneness, love, heart to heart, like you talked about, that heart
Mhm.
connection. Robin, I think, was talking about it. Just it's good now. And I know that we have it. We're gonna, I also kind of told him, do you want to replace your income? Would you like to pay for your patches? And I told him what Marcy said. She said,
Mhm.
in your first year with this new comp plan, you can earn $240,000 getting to 3-star president. I mean, it's possible, right?
Mhm.
Who's going to do it? Well, maybe you and Robin do something like that, or the Merritts, but it's telling people the possibilities and sowing into their dreams via the intuition of Holy Spirit, that heart within.
So never discount the God factor.
Thank you. Love Lavelle said it very well.
Well said, Norma. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And you know, how many, probably everybody on this call say, how many people is finding LifeWave an answer to a prayer? And maybe your prayer for somebody will help them find LifeWave. Thanks very much, Norma. Hey, Larry. Larry Broom.
Yes, thank you. Forgive me for a second there. I had too many things
That's
going
okay.
on.
Yep.
I appreciate this call. I appreciate Michelle and her predicament, if you want to call it that. I'm coming at it in a different way, that I have a huge network of traditional business people. They think that way. And when I call out these people who I know have had a torn up knee, or they played college athletics, or they've got stuff, when I call and they haven't heard from me in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you know, it's not my network day in and day out. I've been a traveling sales guy. I've been a little bit cocooned. But when I follow up with these people, or excuse me, outreach to the people, they're interested. But then it's getting that next MLM hanging elephant, or whatever you want to call it. The MLM thing is spooking people. They haven't heard from me, so I sound like a life insurance guy, which I mean no disrespect. But it's like I've just come out of nowhere. I remember 10 years ago they were hurting. We're 10 years older. I'm just really wrestling with this MLM obstacle. People don't like it. They think, oh, I haven't heard from Larry in a long time. He's trying to sell me. And I
Gregory,
looked at
can I
the
jump in here? Larry, can I work with you here for a sec if it's helpful, even though Gregory's the expert here? But I'm like you, I came from corporate, really heavy corporate.
yeah.
I
Okay.
did. And what you need to, I recommend to everybody is Robert Kiyosaki's book, The Cash Flow Quadrant, because he breaks it down into 4 quadrants of employee to self-employed to owning a business that provides income to you to investors. And when I've read that book, the light bulb went on and I said, I have to get a second income because I was stuck in both employee and then self-employed. And like I'm looking at Donna Durbin, she's classic. She works and works and works. She, you know, makes her own bread, eats her own bread. She's got to find new people. And when people are in employees, they're used to that paycheck, right? And so they're pushing it off. Well, I'll tell you right now, because this is my area of expertise, 50-year-olds are gone out of corporate America. They want 50-year-olds out. Wall Street Journal yesterday had a big article on something I was training in 2016. Gen X is going to get hopped over. Gen X are 50-year-olds. They're going from baby boomers, us, down to the millennials. 50-year-olds are getting wiped away. There's no parachute for them. And they're in that employee mindset, well, I'll get a job. And they don't know AI. They don't know this stuff. They want young people. And so there's an opportunity for us right now, if you've got it in your heart to be adamant, to say, look it, you, all of us need another income. You may live to 90 or 100. What are you going to do? I had 2 people call me yesterday that are self-employed professionals. And I showed them LifeWave and they kind of dinked around with it. And now they're like, it's July. I don't have any clients. I'm freaking out. And I'm like, yes, everybody needs a second or third income. So read that book. It'll give you the facts and figures those people will want to hear. And you can have your chart there. Go on Google, put in Robert Kiyosaki cash flow quadrant image, and you're going to see it.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much, Janet. I've done, you know, making the shift. I've tried to get myself educated to be in that mindset. So I follow Gregory and Robin. I love you guys. You've got great tips. It's just either I'm executing poorly or I've got a really traditional base of people that I'm calling on, and that's very insightful. So let me give some more thought to that. But thank you for that. If there's any other comments, I'll welcome those as well. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Larry. Maybe Valerie has some.
Good morning. I've
Good
got
morning.
couple things from what Michelle said, Norma, and what Janet just said. So here's another book. Can you see me? I can't tell if my camera's
Yeah,
on.
can you raise your hand again, Valerie? Because when you put your hand down, a lot of people lose you on the screen
All right, hold on.
down at the bottom. And that
Reaction.
puts you up in the,
All right, am I
Yeah.
back up?
yeah, you're back up. You're back in line, but we'll let you keep talking.
Can you see me?
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Okay,
we can see
awesome.
your book too.
'Cause
Hold
I
it up.
can't Here's another book by
Ah.
Kiyosaki. This
Yeah.
is awesome. This
Yeah.
is The Business of the 21st Century. Guess what business he's talking about?
Never.
MLMs, baby. He says if you're working for a paycheck, you have sold your soul. So that's just another one in the mix. I
That's
wanted
great.
to share an insight. I don't know if this will help anybody. It helps me from what Michelle Norma was saying of people not engaging.
Mhm.
We that are engaged, this is at our frontals. This is at the forefront of my mind each and every day. People that are just getting started, it's not. It just isn't. It's nothing personal. It's just not their hot spot yet. Paul calls it second level convinced. When a person gets second level convinced, meaning they've had their experience, there's that conviction of, oh my goodness, I've got to share this with people. There's a shift that happens. And until that happens, they may or may not engage. And so you continue to drip on them.
Mhm.
One of the things that, and I love that Norma was talking about leaning on the Holy Spirit. When I'm thinking about those people, I think about them and I start imagining them picking up the phone, having a joy to hear from me. And that's part of that, cultivating that relationship through prayer and through love can have, I think, sometimes a shifting for us. And I think we shouldn't negate the power of prayer and sending those loving thoughts. But until it's at the frontals of their head, they may or may not engage. Nothing personal. Just my personal opinion.
There's a big difference between saying, yes, I want to do it, and yes, I'm going to do it.
Yes. Big
I
difference.
love that. Second level engage. I love that concept. And it's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That takes some of the mystery out. Good morning, Donna.
Good morning. I have two business questions. One is I have a brand partner that wants to get started to sell, and I have tried to help her twice to get her personal website set up.
Yes.
It took her money and yet it gets to the passcode and she can't get, it won't accept any of the passcode she put in. She sent 2 emails to the help desk, the Zen desk, and it's not heard back. And I don't want her to keep getting discouraged, but I was on Zoom with her for an hour trying to get it to work and we couldn't get it to work. So
Gregory, can I address that?
Yeah, go ahead, Liz. Because
First of all,
Hodges is our help desk.
thank you, Liz.
You're welcome. All the Zendesk questions are answered, so it probably didn't go through. So send it again.
Okay.
And I usually respond within a couple of hours, no longer than 24 hours generally. As far as getting into the system, if you've already created an account, if it took your money, put in the email address in the support ticket of the email you used, because if you didn't get it all completed, it creates a temporary position. And the only way I can find it is by the email address. Then I have to go through and set up, if I've got their name, their phone number, and I need a photo ID that's 300 by 300, not ID, a picture that's 300 by 300 JPEG. I can then load it up. Oh, I also need their LifeWave username.
ID, right.
Not their login name. And people are putting in their login name. Nobody's going to be able to join you through your login name.
So she's got that. We did that. I mean, I've got that set up and I didn't have any problem, but I've helped her twice and she's having trouble. Now, she also had to get a temporary password from LifeWave, but I told her this is 2 separate things.
Yeah.
We're keeping
and we're not letting people into the liveyounger.com back office yet. There's a whole lot of training that needs to happen with that. That's going to be part 2, phase 2. And we'll have a different options that become available at that point in time. That's in the works down the road. Okay.
So Donna, you've got Liz's attention. If you send her a note or your team member having the problem, she'll work on that with you this morning.
So Liz, can you give me an email or something to contact you or to send to
go through the Zendesk, which is
I've got
which
that.
is
I can
support
find it. I can find
liveyounger.zendesk.com.
then if need be, you can get on the phone together and work through it.
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be really helpful because she's tried it twice and I emailed her again today and
Okay.
she still had not heard back from him. And I thought that doesn't sound right.
Okay.
second
If you
thing-
want to pop a message in the chat directly to me, then we can connect.
Okay, I'll do that. The
Okay.
second thing is that I don't understand how my points are not accumulating. I've got a monthly subscription and everything else, but I had more points when I first started with the first few months than I do now. And I either don't know how to read the points in the background, or is there a training for that to tell me what's the rule for keeping them active?
Donna, I'm going to refer you to Barbara Larrabee, your upline. She's a whiz
Okay.
at it. Give
Okay.
it to Barbara.
Perfect.
Thank you. That's good.
Thank you,
Thank
Donna.
you.
Thank you, Donna. Hey, Sanjar.
Morning, everybody. Thank you so much.
Morning.
What a great training.
Yeah, thank you.
I'd like to go back to the earlier thread that we were talking about. You know, this is a business of we are the people that are attracting who, you know, by our heart, right? We're attracting those that resonate with us. We are not pushing LifeWave, that's for sure. So we need to learn how to become what they call attractive. And it doesn't mean how pretty or ugly you are. It's just how are you magnetizing people to yourself? And the only way it's going to work for you is to keep practicing. Practice, practice, practice. The words that work, find the ones that work for you the best, practice it over and over, even with your friends or people that'll actually listen to you. Secondly, we want to work with the willing, as Gregory always says, and these are people that are coachable. And that happens typically because we've asked enough questions and they know we care. Then they might just become coachable. And if they are not, and you can't reach them, just put them on that back burner and call them later, quite a bit later. Sometimes it is about timing for them. You never know what's going on in people's lives. Even if you have an hour's conversation with them, you still may not know what's really, you know, hurting them at the time. And then the other part I'd like to address is MLMs. And so one of the things I would say to a person is, wow, sounds like you've had quite an experience. Will you tell me about that? And typically they can't, because they never really did it themselves. And it's something that they heard from someone else. So it's all, you know, secondhand, third-hand information. And so once they either put their foot in their mouth or tell me their terrible experience, then here's what I say. That whole industry has grown up. It's much more refined now. Are you willing to take a look? There you go. Thank you, guys.
That's really good, Sun Shower. That's the first I've heard that phraseology. I think that's really a good response. Thank you.
I have decided.
Oh, somebody's decided. Hey, Judy.
Hello, everybody. What a wonderful training call we're having. I want to go back to Larry Broom's very brave comment about calling people from corporate, etc. And I have two thoughts. One, I always feel a bit predatory, especially when I first started network marketing, calling people I'd not spoken to for 5 years. I didn't feel authentic, and being authentic is important to all of us. So I picked up the tip along the way to call, connect. I mean, if you really are thinking about them, you really like them, why not call, connect? And in your conversation, it's easy to unearth if there's a need, either health-wise or financial. And to not mention LifeWave, to not mention X39. After I hang up, I think about it. Did I hear an interest, a need? And then I call back and say, hey, you know, you were just in our call, you mentioned this, and I'm, you know, and then move on from there. If you don't hear a need or interest or an openness, I usually don't call back, and I'm just grateful for that connection. So that might help you. It's a bit more time consuming. It doesn't need to be more than a 10-15 minute call. Hey, I was thinking about you. It hasn't been years. Don't know why your name popped, you know, just like that. I don't know if that would suit your personality, but you could give it a try. If it works, use it. If it doesn't, don't. And the second one, I love to hear funny things about the mistakes that we've all made in network marketing. Sometimes it gets a little weary hearing about all the successes when you went off, but you're kind of stumbling here, not you, Larry. And there, that was my experience. I just learned so much from people sharing their mistakes along the way. Then I realized, hey, it's not just me. And one of the best books for that is Your First Year in Network Marketing. One of the best books, according to my thinking, by Mark Yarnell and Renee Reed Yarnell. The first chapter in particular, Ignoring the Rejection Rocket. And in that chapter, successful professional network marketers share their bruises, their bumps, their embarrassments, how, and it just makes you feel normal. And then you can read through and how to deal with people from the corporate world. It's a fabulous book. And it's called Your First Year in Network Marketing. And I love the book that you mentioned, Janet, as well. So thank you. Over to you, Gregory.
Actually, over to Lavelle. Thank you. That was great, Judy.
So I'd like to give another tip.
Sure.
So consistency is always the key, because a lot of people say this isn't working for me or whatever. But then you got to ask, well, how many people are you talking to? And Jeffrey Birdie said it very well. If you talk to some people, you can make some money. If you talk to lots of people, you can get rich. And Bill Britt said, there's no secret. He said, I personally spoke to 1,200 people and 900 people told me no. 300 people told me yes. And out of 300 people, only 85 ever did anything. Out of 85 that ever did anything, only 35 was serious. And out of 35 that were serious, 11 made me rich. Wow. It's always a numbers games guy.
I love that. Everybody should write those numbers down.
Lavelle, put them in the chat if you would, please.
Yeah.
It's because it's the 1%ers that, but you got to go through the numbers, and that's where people get discouraged. Let's keep it 100. Yep. You gotta understand that it's not personal. They just read you up to talk to the next person when they tell you no or they're not ready or whatever. But it always is a numbers game. And Gregory, you always say it's mathematical, guys. How many people are you talking to on a daily basis? And I'll just tell everyone, and I'll put this in, when I heard that in our previous company, we did speak to 300 people. And guys, we got to multiple six figures. No. We personally recruited 300 people. Hey, Gregory, and you know what? When we look back at that company, I look back at it because I always keep all of my screenshots of my business. Only 13 of the people were active on the 300 that we personally recruited. So guys, it is what it is. I'll put it in the chat.
That's awesome. Thanks, Lavelle. Hey, Valerie.
Hi again.
Hi again.
I wanted to share something that I've been sharing with some of my people, addressing I feel like a predator calling somebody I haven't talked to in 10 years. If you'll go back and watch the presentation when corporate was rolling out the comp plan in Dallas, I can't remember the gentleman's name. Kind of high strung, real kind of souped up anyway.
That was Steve Merritt.
No, it was Steve Merritt's guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that was that Danny?
Mike
or Andy. Andy.
Andy. He said when he would call people, hey, buddy, I know I haven't talked to you in 10 years. I haven't had anything to say. But now I do. And I loved that. It kind of addressed the elephant in the room, takes the air right out of it. I haven't had anything to tell you, but now I do. So hopefully that helps someone. It helped me.
Thanks, Valerie. And the mystery person with the iPad.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I gotta rename it. Nellie Holst. Good morning.
Hi, Nellie. Sure.
Hi. A challenge I'm having is with customers who have been with the technology some of them 9 months maybe, and I know it might take longer, but how do you encourage such customers to keep on trying, besides, sending them a video here and there? I'm thinking about if somebody can direct me to a short video clip that I can send them. I don't know. I'm just thinking something short that they can listen to about why they're not seeing results. And I've, I told them and I showed them what to expect. So anyway, that's what I'm looking for. Thank you.
Who would like to respond to Nellie?
I would.
Okay.
Doc Talk.
Doc Talk. I think that's excellent.
Okay. Yes,
You
I do
build
that.
up belief. You get them on Doc Talk, and that's not recorded. It's a live event. But
Yes.
everybody that listens to Doc Talk, their belief goes up and up and up. And pretty soon, people just think, I'm not feeling it, but I know it's working. And you got to get that level of commitment going. And then all of a sudden, this chronic issue or, sometimes lifelong issue, they had to go, oh my God, it's gone, and it's 18 months into it or 8 months or whatever. But I think that's a good suggestion. Anybody, any other suggestions for Nellie?
Gregory, can I make one?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's using some of the tools, and one of the very thing you mentioned is the what to expect document. One of the things that I do is I keep going back to that. I start out and I help them get a really good expectation. And at the bottom of what to expect, it says 12 months before you start feeling that regeneration. So I do a really good job initially. Well, they forget. I read this stuff all the time. I remember. They don't. And so I've started revisiting. I use that health tracker to keep in touch with them. And then I'm always connecting. At every one of those marks, I connect back whatever they're experiencing. I connect it back. And then I keep reemphasizing the annual health tracker, we're in it for the long game, but I keep using that and I take them back and back and back. Otherwise, at 7 months, 9 months, they forget and they totally don't understand what's going on. So using those tools for me personally has been extremely helpful to keep planting that seed. This is a long game. Hope that helps.
Oh, yes, I do all of that. So I
Good.
think if I have a video, maybe they will watch it besides me keep on sending the health tracker and the what to expect.
And a video I'd like to recommend, Nellie, is any of the relevant David Schmidt, LifeWave Connects. Because one of the things we want to do is build belief in David and belief in the products, because he is a gifted genius in wellness, and his products are a gift, in wellness. So, but I think it's important for people to recognize we've got something special here, not just the products, but it's the creator, the divine creator and our product creator that are doing these things for us. So I think, we could all do better by sharing Doc Talk, yes. But the other one is LifeWave Connect with David with our customers and brand partners. Hey, Maggie. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. What a great training. I remember the first company that I was with, they said, if you don't do follow-up, it's like you might as well just roll down your car window and throw $100 bills out of it. And that has always stuck with me. And I had a fun experience last night with a new brand partner. She's only been on the patches for about 3 weeks. And so she just did an upgrade from a core to an advanced. So I texted her and said, how did you get your patches yet? And her response was, yes, but I am in excruciating pain with my knee. So I quickly called my friend who I knew had a great story with that and said, if you're available, spur of the moment, I have someone that needs your story. And it just worked out. Sometimes, I like to plan ahead a little and give people notice, but this worked out beautifully. And I just made the introduction. I just told my friend Pat, I said, I've got a treat for you, and introduced them. And then my friend shared her story about her knees. And then she was smart enough to go on and tell the rest of her story with long haul COVID and losing her hair and the whole thing. And by the time we were done, it was a beautiful exchange. And my friend Pat was so encouraged. And I didn't have to say a word except introduce them and say thank you at the end.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thanks for sharing that. And I think we'll give the last share and the last word to Robin as we're at the 10 o'clock hour. We like to keep these calls to an hour because everybody has busy lives. So thanks, everyone. Go ahead, honey.
Wow, you guys. I love learning from all of you. This is so fun. I love all the engagement. What's come up, and I want to thank you, Judy, because she's been talking about your first year in network marketing ever since I met her. And I finally downloaded it on Audible. And I recommend everyone, when I started this, become a student of the business. When I started, I knew nothing about this profession. And I was, doing everything wrong. And my income was doubling every month. And I realized I better become a student. And so Judy and I have talked for a long time about putting a recommended book list together. Several showed up on this call today. I really recommend everyone become a student of the business because once you, and Gregory's quote, once network marketing gets under your skin, there's no known cure. People don't realize what we have here. We have an opportunity for people to truly live a dream lifestyle, and it's by design. And we do that. And when you post on social media, post your freedom. Post that you can take time off in the middle of the day, that you can take your vacation, whatever it is. This is what people want, is a lifestyle. So be a student of the business, and the judgment about our profession is getting less and less and less, because especially during COVID, people realize they need a plan B. So we've got a wonderful opportunity that people can do part-time and literally change their lives. And if someone is stuck, I like to do a belief assessment and find out what their belief is in our profession. And if your belief is not a rock solid 8 to 10, you need to do the work. And once you do the work, you will not be attracting people that have judgment. I promise. It is so rare that I ever attract anyone that has judgment about our profession. So we have got to take responsibility, really be a student of the business. And Judy, that book, I downloaded it. I travel a lot. I listen to Audible. I listen to Jim Rohn's whole collection. I listen to, your first year in network marketing. There are so many gems in there. Be a student. And with this, we'll call it complete. What a great call, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for your amazing contributions. I love, love, love learning from you. And it's Thursday, so we don't get to be together till next Monday, right? Well, and Doc Talk builds belief like nothing I've ever seen. Builds credibility and belief. So get people, especially if they're new, deepen their connection and belief and credibility of what we have. Back to you, honey, to finish it up.
Bye, everybody.
Isn't it
Bye.
Gregory's
Happy birthday to Gregory on Saturday.
Thank you.
Have a thinking bigger Thursday, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Gregory.
much. God bless you. One and
Thank you,
two.
guys. That was a great call.
Bye-bye.
Great call.
Thank you. Good call.
Thank you.
Bye,
Have
everyone.
a great day, everybody.
Dr. Latrice.
Happy birthday, Gregory.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Sabina.
Gregory.
Happy birthday, Gregory.
Yeah, 2 more days. I'll be 73.
Happy
birthday. 73 young. Happy
73 floating
73
on the
turning
Yellowstone
40.
River.
Hey,
He says you're just a kid.
I know. I'm just getting warmed up.
That's right.
So that would be 27.
That's
Hey,
right.
Murdo.
That's it.
37.
Coach
All right.
Rick.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Gregory.